Live from the Base Room Studio 2.0 in Seattle, Washington, this is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 lifelong friends who to the naked eye look like acclaimed, seasoned podcasters. But when you open up the sleeve, they're just 7 Ritz crackers covered in congealed oil and salt. Welcome to the Spacecast.
Podworms Spacecast, throw it in your face cast. Podworms Spacecast.
Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the Podworms Spacecast. We are so excited to be bringing you yet another week of content here on the show. And before we jump into it, let me introduce the Podworms in the room with me. We got a fan of the pod. He's in the room. He's on the podcast, Kevin McCoy.
Hey, loving the vibe in here. It's got a very Christmas feel right now.
We have our V-neck aficionado who, true to his name, is wearing a V-neck, Chase Golka.
Hello there.
We have... What is Peter? It's been so long since he's been on the show. What is
What
it?
is Peter?
He's our Peter?
Local historian?
No, you used to be the local historian. What are you now?
Oh, you changed him?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's the pod promoter.
Oh, yes. The
yeah.
Podworms promoter, Peter Fries.
Yeah, I love the pod so much, I decided to take like 2 months off.
And our pod stepdads here, Mike McCoy.
I feel like a congealed Ritz cracker right now.
You look like one too.
Oh, you guys.
Oh, it's so nice.
You guys are so sweet.
And in case you were wondering, I'm Andrew LeClaire. Today,
I was wondering.
Who are you?
we have a huge episode to celebrate having...
Wait, do you have anything special about you, though?
I mean, I'm a big fan of the pod, and I still forgot your name.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if
What is
That's fair.
Yeah,
For
what's
those
your
of you-
deal?
I don't really have anything special that's worth noting here.
Can we call you like,
Average Andy.
or Vanilla Andy, or
Yeah.
That's fine.
boring? What, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit Andy.
I mean, the one thing I know you can't do is you can't give yourself a nickname. So I can't come up with it, but you guys are welcome to.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
probably
yeah.
a waste of our time, but let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, think on it. All right.
I'll mull it over.
What rhymes with Andy? Dandy? Dandy Andy.
No, because that's too...
Done. That's how you do it.
Easy.
That's how
Wow, no,
nicknames are made.
Done, you guys.
That's low hanging fruit.
yeah.
Oh, low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit, Andy.
Perfect. That's great. So today we are going to open up the show with some pod mail. We're going to get into catching up on our lives, especially with our little boy Peter, who's been away from the pod for so long. Kevin's going to wrap up or maybe not even wrap up, but just continue his.
Oh, it's continuation. It's not over.
Oh yeah, the epic rat saga from last episode. And we're going to close the show out with a fan favorite, the sports game. So hang with us. All right, before we jump into all the fun, Mike, you have some actual physical pod mail.
Yeah. So because of our recording schedule, it's actually several weeks behind. But back in like late November, Julie and I came home and there was a mystery package that was to us that wasn't one of the Christmas gifts that we got. We opened it up and it was a little slide whistle.
Now, can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
How was it addressed? Was it just to Mike? Was it from anybody?
I think it was just to Mike with the address there.
Okay.
So it was a little bit of a mystery, but we didn't really think about why or where it came from. We just took it out and started playing it.
Yeah, of course.
But more mystery than suspicious. You weren't concerned this was like anthrax.
No, I wasn't. Once I saw there was a slide whistle, I knew that it was just
Okay.
it was
Yeah, obviously.
It was
How
only
could
a good time.
Okay, sure.
How could there be anything bad about a slide whistle?
Yeah.
Also, if I die, that's fine.
I mean, honestly, if someone wants to kill me with a slide whistle, do it.
Yeah.
I am not going to live in a world where I suspect slide whistles of being anthrax.
Yeah, it's kind of like, so be it. At least I'll die doing what I love.
Right, totally.
But so we got the slide whistle, open it up, and then Julia and I, like, for 2 hours just sat in our living room on the couch, like right next to each other, just passing it back and forth, trying to play like Jurassic Park or like different things. And then Kevin actually
I knock on the door because I'm like delivering, some of their mail got delivered to me, and I bring it over, and they're both sitting on the couch, just like tears in their eyes from laughing so hard. And they're like passing this slide whistle back and forth. And Mike's like, let me play the Jurassic Park theme for you. and like he's been practicing this for the last like hour clearly. And then Julia gave it a try and actually did a better job. But Mike came back with an amazing rendition of Tequila,
Yeah.
which I thought was
I can nail a mean tequila, but it was just like Julie and I are like literal children because we got this slide whistle and we're like, cancel everything. We have no plans tonight. We have a slide whistle. We just sat there and we're like,
Well, I want to take it.
Yeah, and to the point where when I come over, they're like, "Oh, recital time!" Like we're not engaging, we're not talking, we're just like they're like, "Let me play this song for you."
Well, first off, I'd love to hear something here on the mic for us today. But first, do we know who the pod mail is from?
yeah. So basically, we had the slide whistle, and then that night we played it a lot. Then we hung it on the fridge, and then just kind of played it for several weeks, not really thinking much about it. Julia kept kind of reminding me, like, "Oh, you should make a post about it because it's probably about the podcast." Like it seems likely that it's something like from that because what else would it be? And then I kept forgetting. And then I was talking to Elise.
Okay, so hang on. So not to belabor this, but the package when you received it had no note, no information about who sent it. It was just was it from Amazon or something?
No.
So they shipped it themselves, but they didn't include any information about who. That's so odd.
I like
But
it.
what information was necessary?
Like why they're sending it to you?
I mean, I open it up and there's a slide whistle
He
inside.
said he wanted a slide whistle. He got a slide
All right,
whistle.
I guess I'm the crazy one. All right, go ahead.
I don't don't know what other information you're looking for.
No, you're right.
from
You're
me.
right. You're right.
Here's the slide whistle and the slide whistle explanation booklet that comes with it. Everyone knows.
What knows? But yeah, so it ended up that Elise and Derek got it. I think it was actually Elise. She was listening to, there's some episode where you were talking, Andrew, you were talking about how you like went to Jimmy John's and the meat and everything in the sandwich like kind of slips out. And then I think one of us or I
A
made
loose
a
sandwich.
No,
slippery
that
meat.
was not Jimmy John's. That was QFC.
Okay, then it may have been QFC.
How
No, we
dare
were
you.
talking about Jimmy John's meats and how they are slippery,
We-
sliding.
it
They
was-
slide at the end when you try to take a bite.
Guys, it doesn't
Loose
matter.
meat
Okay,
sandwich.
it may have been
meat.
both, but it was QFC.
We were talking about loose meat. That's all we need to know.
Right.
Some slippery loose meat.
The
Yep.
loosest of meat.
And somebody made a joke about how, wow, we really need a slide whistle. That would be great right now.
Thank you.
And so thank you, Elise, for our first. Yeah, she like messaged me and was like, so did you get anything weird? And I like kind of forgot about, like, it was so in like a part of our lives now
Yeah,
that we
Mike's
had
like,
a slide
okay, let's
whistle.
see. We got we ordered some socks. We got a slide whistle.
Anything interesting? I don't know.
Yeah, we ordered a thing.
How was your Christmas?
No. I think it's all the same.
But like she messaged that and I was like, oh shit, you sent us that. And I I was just excited, told her all about it. But I was like, but she sent it because of our recording schedule. She sent it right before we started kind of cramming a little inside baseball to get through the December and Christmas holiday season.
Right.
So she sent it a long time ago. So thank you, Elise, for sending this. Sorry it took so long to get on here, but
Well, thanks, Elise.
now
Yes, thank you.
A little more inside baseball. This is probably the freshest episode you've ever heard. Like straight from recording to your eardrums. This is about as close as it gets.
Yeah, that's
true.
a sneak peek.
yeah, we're recording it like 3 days before you're listening to it right now.
Which is why it sounds so fresh and modern.
Why
Also,
we're talking about all the like
Very new
topical
and
things.
sleek.
Also, inside baseball, at some point when Mike was talking about that story, I pointed to him because I wanted him to move the mic closer to his mouth, but he interpreted it as me wanting him to blow into the slide whistle, which I kind of like, where it's just me at any given time just point at Mike.
Slide whistle.
And then... Yeah, thank you. So I can kind of have it, queued up for if there's going to be a moment where it's applicable, which I think is only in like a oops-a-daisy kind of situation.
Yeah, in fact, Mike, will you have that thing at the ready for the rest of the episode?
I
just
will.
In case?
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna have it.
Okay,
Does it work for any of us?
Apparently so.
Wow.
It worked for Peter just now. That's amazing.
It's just like a physical response that I have.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
It's a responsibility that I have.
Okay, before we leave this pod mail segment, do you actually have any songs that you can play? I want to hear Jurassic Park, Tequila. I want to hear something.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I
well,
wanna
no,
recite
I'll
them.
give you tequila. I'm a little rusty and I have to do it with
Here,
balancing a
I'll
microphone.
I'll hold your mic.
We can hold your mic for you. Yeah, there you go.
Tequila.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
nice.
you.
Really, really nice.
A lot of practice. A
Really
lot of
nice.
practice.
Yeah, it shows. It definitely shows.
Well, that makes me want more props on the show, and B, we need more pod mail.
We need more physical pod
Physical
mail.
pod mail.
It
Yeah.
is now my personal goal to get a pod gift.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I'm gonna start researching less than $5 items, like what the best ones are on Amazon, and start slipping hints into the podcast.
Well, man, we really need a podcast fidget spinner. Anyone listening?
I wonder if we can get Podworm Spacecast branded sticky hands, because we talked about those in the show before.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, I bet we could find a supplier for those.
Oh, you know what I saw? Oh, this is a tangent.
Go
Back
for
on
it.
the sticky hands.
Go
You
for
know how
it.
the sticky hands was always like at the book fair, if you like sold or got enough books or whatever, like it was some prize for some reason. The other thing that was always a prize was the flinging monkey. Do you remember the monkey that had a cape?
Yeah.
And it had like the rubber thing.
And he goes, ah! It's really fucking annoying.
That's it. That's all that was. But I saw it recently on Amazon. I was like, oh, like memories flooding back of having that
geez.
thing, and it's just the most annoying.
Have we talked about the Pizza Hut reading contest, summer reading? Have we talked about that in this show?
Oh, I don't think so, but I remember those.
You guys remember that? Where like in elementary school, Pizza Hut had some sort of not exactly a contest, but some sort of an incentive program where if you're a kid in elementary school and you read books, each book you read, you get like a token towards a free personal pan pizza.
Well, that explains why I'm a fat ass.
But
And a great reader.
but why can't that shit continue into adulthood? Like I would read way more books.
Wait, how do they know if you actually read the book or not?
I think they just depend on your parents not being complete slime balls.
All right, Jimmy, we're going in there. You read 20 books this week.
Listen, Jimmy, it's been a hard year on your father.
Here you go, get reading.
I can't read it.
If you blow this shit for me, I swear to God.
I love it. In this scenario, he makes you actually read the books instead of just faking that you did.
Keep reading and don't stop reading, or else there's no dinner.
Jimmy, what are you doing out of your room? Where are your books?
Do you want us to go hungry? Is that what you want?
That's like the best, worst parenting there is.
Read those goddamn books, Jimmy.
Jimmy, how does Moby Dick end? What did Herman Melville write?
I won a contest in.
Sure you did.
Oh,
Sure you did.
Look at you.
This felt like the right time to bring it up.
Yeah, I want a contest.
Where's the
once
slide
too, Mike.
whistle?
Yeah, well, it had to do with pizza. It was
Was there a hut involved as well?
No, there was a Murphy's involved. So Papa Murphy's had a contest around October, and I think they still do this from time to time. But it was they gave you a picture of a pumpkin, and then you had to color it in, and whoever colored it in the best
I remember
got a free
this.
pizza.
What?
And I got that.
Okay, what did you do that was so good? And
Well-
also, how many people did you beat out?
I used some pretty highbrow shading techniques when I was coloring it in. I was probably
Chiaroscuro shading.
yeah. No,
Overachiever.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was pretty good. I probably did some dotted stuff. You know, it's just really. I think it's chosen at random. Is what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure they're like, yeah, all these children are fucking stupid, but
Wow, children are really
children are terrible at
Children
coloring in the
cannot
lines.
draw for shit.
Why do we even do this? What are we proving with this?
I just want to feel superior.
or literally like Papa Murphy's is like in the back, like waiting for the prodigy. He's like, no, it's not time yet. We
Not this one.
We
Not
haven't.
this one. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year we'll find him and we'll raise him up the Papa Murphy's way.
You know what? You know what I love? I love restaurants that have like a tablecloth that you can draw on with crayons, or they have pictures all over the walls, like Beth's Cafe in Green Lake.
Yeah.
Because if I happen to have art talent slightly above the average person, just enough to take a crayon and draw something that's impressive enough where they're like, oh, wow, that's really great. But what I often do is I'll draw something kind of cool where it's like, oh, wow, Andrew, that's so neat that you drew that on your napkin. And then I draw a very graphic dick. And I leave it for the person to pick up after I leave the restaurant. Like Macaroni Grill, isn't that a place that has they write their name upside down on your your table mat. Have you guys ever been there?
No.
No.
It's like this big thing that's supposed to dazzle you when you first sit down. Is they write their name.
I've been there one time, but yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Right, because they write it upside down. You're like, oh wow, upside down name. This is great.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay. So the waiter or waitress does this. on
so
the
you
table.
can read it. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know.
We gotta go.
I mean, that's the first week of training to work there.
Yeah.
Just like, how well do you write upside down?
You know, it's funny because that must actually be something they have to train you on or tell you to practice because it's a thing that everybody has to do.
Well, I think it's like someone's not showing promise. So they're like, well, we'll give them dishes.
Yeah. They're like, okay, Ryan, let's give it a go.
ooh, how about line?
Yeah.
Let's
I don't
get you
know if
online.
I don't know
huh?
if this is gonna work out.
No, you have even if you're doing dishes or online, still have to know how to write it upside
What if
down.
they just they change their name to something really easy to write
Yeah.
upside down?
They're like, how about we just call you Bob?
or mom. If I just write wow, it's the same thing.
No, they just tell him like, well, we're just gonna call you Wow from now on. Don't be weirded out. If someone calls you Mom. That's perfectly normal.
I love the 40-year-old dude that like started there in high school and is teaching the tricks of the trade to everyone. So if someone comes in, their name is Bob. You just write an 8, a 0, and an 8, and the basis is the same thing.
Easiest part.
Easiest part. Just a little tip. You stick with me, kid. You can go far.
So I am officially back in school this quarter, and I have this thing where
It's official.
It's official. Everybody, get out the slide whistles.
Good job.
It's a fish oil?
Thank you.
It's official.
But I have this thing where I have such a hard time focusing on schoolwork when I'm at home when my house is dirty. So I've really taken up to cleaning up the house very thoroughly. And so I'll spray down all the countertops, I'll wipe them down, I'll do laundry, and I'll vacuum and all that kind of stuff. And I found that it's kind of therapeutic to do most chores. I enjoy doing most chores, as it turns out. Dishes are okay because I just kind of give them a good rinse, put them in the dishwasher, and then let it do its thing. Laundry is the one chore that I've learned I just can't stand. It's so monotonous and tedious. And I'll try and listen to a podcast. I'll put TV on, and it's just so boring. Like folding t-shirts, pulling them inside out, hanging them up. It's just like such a pain. Do you guys find that there's any do you like any chores? Hate any chores? Like for me, vacuuming, I love it. You just get to get rid of all the grime, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, it just looks so nice afterwards.
Well, I feel the same way about laundry. Like putting it in the dryer, that stuff's not that bad, but it's literally just the end game of like a lot of times it'll just end up staying all like in a basket versus me actually unfolding it. So I find these like little ways to skip things. So my t-shirt drawer is more or less a bunch of t-shirts folded in half and not folded.
Yeah.
And then I don't really care if it's inside out or not. I'm like, you future me.
Right.
I have spent, this is funny because I spent a lot of time in the last month thinking about how I wish there was a machine that takes your clothes, washes it, dries it, and folds it for you. And it does it, that start to end process. And then all you have to do is take it from the machine and put it in the dresser or in your closet.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a wife.
Hey, 5 guys, am I right?
Because I also find that process very tedious, and it feels like in the future, I feel like I have it solved, except for the thing that I can't fix is covers, sheets and blankets.
Oh yeah, the fitted sheet specifically.
Oh my God, the fitted sheet is a fucking nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Fuck the fit. Just fucking roll it up and kind of just put it in a thing. It doesn't matter. You're just gonna stretch it over a bed.
I guess
anyway.
that's true, but I like to put it into the fucking towel and linen drawer that I have.
Right.
And I like it to look nice when I open it up. But that fitted sheet is always a little troublemaker.
Here, let me read.
Make it look like shit, and I'm pissed.
Let me reenact me doing a fitted sheet. Okay, so here it is. I'm starting out, and I'm saying, okay, grab the corner. You try and find the right corner. You're folding in all the corners. It starts out kind of nice. You can't get the right thing going, and at some point, you kind of just ball it up into a hole. It's like, well, I guess we're just gonna throw it in a fucking ball and call it good.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you for the assistance.
This podcast has been elevated.
I think so.
to a whole
Way
new
better.
level.
Way better.
If you're still listening, congratulations.
Yeah, really.
This is like our version of like 3D. Like it's like it's a whole new way to experience the Podworm Space
This is a
Cast.
4D space cast.
See, when I said that 2019 was going to bring so much more to the podcast, you thought that was just some bullshit that I was spewing just to get you hyped up. But as it turns out, it's already paid off.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, okay, I want to say one thing. You guys don't know how nice it is that you have dishwashers. Because I don't have one anymore. And I'll tell you what, dishes are the absolute worst chore to do ever in the whole world. And I hate them.
That's why when I was looking for a place, that was an absolute must.
Oh,
It's almost better though we have a shitty dishwasher in our apartment. And so when I get a cup out
yeah.
and I pour water into it, cold water, I'll take a swig of it and it tastes like weird dishwashed, gross, terrible
You don't
cup.
do the pre-wash, or it's just leaving soap on your cup.
Or it's just leaving. It's something. It's a really shitty dishwasher. So like every time I get a cup out, I wash it a second time in the sink. It's better almost to have
Yeah.
to do it.
Laundry is nothing.
Have you tried complaining to the people?
Yeah, I complain about a lot of things. I think they
fair.
just don't care.
A few years ago when I was in the apartment, I put the wrong kind of soap into my dishwasher. And I was thinking just now what kind it was. I don't remember, but it like
Tide.
Probably just
Tide Pod?
dish soap that you use when your hand.
I think it was just dish soap, yeah, but it was like it overflowed and it took me running it about 6 or 7 times until it finally kind of cleaned
Yeah.
itself out, but it was a goddamn disaster.
I'm pretty sure that I broke our washing machine by putting too much soap into it. I was sick of using the little cup because the cup always gets messy and then there's always like a mess and then you have to like either wash it out or just deal with it. It's going to drip over everything. Like it just is a fucking mess. But so I started just dripping directly into like the soap thing and just kind of like eyeballing it, whatever. And then turns out that our washing machine kind of shut down and stopped working. And the guy was like,
Nice.
maybe it might be that there's too much soap in there or something. I'm like,
Was that Phil?
I don't know. No, that was the literal handyman. Oh, it could have been Phil in a disguise.
But unlikely probably. You would have recognized it.
I feel like I would have known. But yeah, so basically we may or may not have allegedly destroyed our own washing machine. But what I realized is when the people came to take it out, there was like a day or two later that Julia was like, oh, could you grab me a roll of toilet paper? And I was like, sure. And I walked downstairs and I go to the washing machine because we keep it in a drawer underneath. And we had just bought like a Costco pack of toilet paper, just a ton of toilet paper. We were like set for life. And then I look at our washing machine, realize that it's the new washing machine and that all of our toilet paper was in the drawer and went with the old washing machine. And I was like so sad. I was like, oh no.
There goes
our lifetime supply.
Our lifetimes.
What are we gonna do?
We were set. We were going to start a life together.
Well, don't feel too alone in this, Mike, because I also ruined a washing machine with soap. We had a stacking washer and dryer with the dryer on top. And I had one of those like Costco, what do you call it? Laundry detergents that has the little push button in the nozzle. So you can kind of just like keep it on its side and has a little spout.
Yep.
And so I kept it on the top of the stacked washer and dryer, but the cap wouldn't go on very easily. And even if it did, it's still on its side. A little bit always drip out, very much like when you go and make in the toilet as a human being and a little bit just comes out afterwards. You can't help it. Thank you.
you make in the toilet.
I mean, you make, yeah.
You make in. Guys, I gotta go make.
I gotta go make. You've never heard that? That's a thing.
Where's Andrew? He's just making.
This is like when I said this show slaps. I've gotten lots of fan mail of people supporting me and saying that slaps.
This show does slap.
Thank you.
It slaps.
Yeah. Well, right now it's making.
Yes, I'm gonna go make. But anyway, so this soap would drip down and it dripped like into the control panel apparently. And so the repairman came out and he's like, "Hey, I think I found your problem. There's a bunch of soap in the control panel. You have any idea how that would have happened?" and I sat there and I'm like, "Huh."
Did he actually say that? Do you have any idea how that would have happened?
Yeah.
What a fucking god.
Well, no. Well, hang on. This guy, you're going to change your mind about this guy because I confessed. And I said, yeah, we kept our soap up there. He's like, look, I'm not going to tell your landlord. And he didn't. And they cost a replacement.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Fantastic.
I totally fucked that one up. So,
Damn.
Mike, you're not alone.
Sweet. Feels good not to be alone.
Even podcast hosts like me make silly little errors.
Low hanging fruit over here.
So we've missed our buddy Peter for a while. He was out traveling abroad. How was your trip, Peter?
I did actually travel abroad. I went to Canada, but that was
Wow, so interesting.
We
wow.
were
So exotic.
Wait, was that different than the episode that we recorded in Canada?
good. That
never
was
came
different than the
back.
episode. That's the only other country I'm allowed in. Is Canada.
Fair.
It was good. I intended to be here for more podcasts than I had been, but this is a funny story, I promise.
I'm ready to laugh.
Any story that starts like that, I know it's gonna be good.
Get the slide whistle ready.
Oh, it's ready.
But on Monday, it was December 10th. So Monday, December 10th, I typically wake up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock to get to work. And my alarm went off at 4. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I need more sleep. So I turned it off, went back to bed. And then about an hour later, I wake up in my bed to all the lights on and some very, very handsome paramedics and firefighters. And my first thought was, oh, I'm in heaven.
That's Peter's heaven.
Here we are.
I've made it. I've died. I've gone to heaven. And I was really fucking confused. It's like, why are there these people in my bedroom?
Yeah.
And
This is already funny. So
they started asking me all these questions. They were like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, my name's Peter Freeze. And they're like, what year is it? Oh, 2018. What's your birthday? I'm not going to say that, guys. Come on. It's
Yeah. No one wants to know how old
A
you
lady
are.
never kisses me.
Who's the president?
know what that quote
Donald Trump. And then they're asking me, where do you live? And I'm like, oh, I live in Bothell. And I recently moved to Bellevue. And so they're like, oh, and according to my wife, I wasn't actually answering these questions. I was answering them, and
In your head?
I thought I was saying them, and they were like, okay, this guy is definitely probably on drugs and freaking out. And then we just got a puppy, and so my puppy barked, and I looked up, and this is all from my wife because I don't remember any of this. I looked up and was like, oh, and I'm like, Churro. And that's the dog's name. And so I get up out of bed and I'm in these underwear and I look like I'm fairly fat right now. So I look like a big old baby. I look like, and my underwear,
I'm glad you told us that detail.
it's a funny story.
When I get up, like the underwear's like typically bunched up. So it looks like I'm almost in a diaper. Like a fat baby in a diaper. And I look for the dog and then I start walking. And the paramedics are like, what is going on? Because I'm not responding to what they're asking. And we have this dog, like this baby gate in our hallway that separates the backside of our apartment from the front. And I thought that I suppose I was walking towards a dog, but I decided to walk to the baby gate to go to the bathroom because I need to pee. And I don't pause for the baby gate. I just decided to run right through the baby gate. And I ran through it and flipped myself over and pulled the entire baby gate over with me. And I locked myself in our bathroom.
While the medics are still there?
Yeah, well, the paramedics are all still here. And my wife is talking to him and like, what is he doing? You're sure he didn't take any drugs, right? And he's like, no, he didn't take any drugs. And so I went to the bathroom and then opened the door back up, walked out, and they're all like, I just walk past all of them, go back to bed, and I tuck myself
Oh my God.
back in. And then next thing I know, I'm in the ER. They put me in the ambulance and took me to the ER, but I apparently had a seizure.
Whoa.
Yeah.
For like 2 minutes or whatever. And my wife woke up because I was making some noise and my arms were like straight up in the air like I'm a zombie.
Oh, it's terrifying.
And she rolled me over on my side. And but yeah, so then I woke up in the emergency room and she's telling me all this. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Sounds like a classic Peter situation.
Wow.
Well, is this your first seizure since high school?
I had one. This is the first one I've had in 7 years, which is kind of concerning because I'm on medication. And I went back and saw the doctor, and I didn't see my regular doctor. I saw another one at the practice, and he was like, "Yeah, I actually took a look at all your blood tests, and I'm on medication that's supposed to like prevent these." He's like, "So for the last like 3 or 4 years, your blood level, your therapeutic medication level has been below like the therapeutic level." I was like, "So no one told me."
What?
For like,
3-4 years.
Oopsies. Yeah. So no one bothered to tell me.
Oh, don't know
But
how we missed that.
I got a good story out of it.
Classic seizure blunder.
Classic.
Classic.
You can just call me Julius Seizure.
Oh my God.
Well, glad that things seem to be okay now.
Yeah.
Hope they've upped your dose.
Yeah, when Peter first texted about it, because we were trying to go to the New Year's party that you were going to,
Right.
or that you were at the midnight 2 or whatever.
Yes.
We were originally going to go to that, and Peter ended up not being able to just because
Forgot that I probably.
flashing lights.
Obvious reasons. Yeah.
I was like, I'm excited to go to Chase's thing. Oh fuck.
And so that's how I found it. He's like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have had a seizure." And being the most Peter response ever, I was like, "Oh shit, dude, what happened? How'd that happen?" And he just went, "Oh, it's just too awesome."
Oh my God.
We're like, whatever.
That was just
Fuck
too
you.
awesome.
Yeah, and then Mike replaced all my pills with Skittles. So then I had another one.
I'm glad we told this story before I was like, where the fuck were you guys? Must be like Kelly and Tim were there. Where the fuck were you guys? But I'm glad,
we all had seizures.
I'm glad I didn't do that.
Oh man.
Yep.
Okay.
It sounds like you got married at the right time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have died.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoa.
not that I would be looking forward to that, but 7 people is a lot for a podcast.
Just saying. Just saying.
Mike almost just
Funny story.
Mike almost spit
Okay,
his
you know
wine.
what? I can tell. I'm just gonna have one right now.
So we had an exciting and thrilling story about the rat situation in Kevin's house. Can you just give us a very quick recap?
We'll give you like last time on the rat story.
Yeah,
Yes.
I need to recap
This
because
is
I
a great
actually hear any of
segue
this.
too from Peter's seizure story.
I mean, I'd love to hear. Hey, space fans! If you have a better segue between those two stories, let us know.
Talking about exciting stories, Kevin has a rat update.
Speaking,
Guys, this is a really funny story.
hey Kevin, why don't you seize the moment and tell your story?
There you go.
Oh man. All right. So where we left off, I believe, is I had heard scratching in my walls, put rat traps out in the backyard.
Yep.
First rat trap, put it there. Next day, go back, it's gone. Second day, put another trap there, come back, it's gone. Third day, put a rat trap, tie it to a stick.
I mean, this is some Tom and Jerry shit.
Come back. It is, it's completely under the deck. I pull the string, find the rat trap, completely all the bait's eaten off of it, like licked clean, and the trap is empty.
I have a question.
Yes.
Each time this happened, did you just say rats?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Like that's how I start conversations now.
Yep.
And so that's where I think we left off last time.
Yep.
I realized that trap was not working. So I went on Amazon and bought
Oh, what made you think that?
Yeah, what was your first clue? I wasn't sure at that point, like until I tied a rope to it, I wasn't sure if they were just like going off and dying somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I had no idea what was happening because they were just disappearing rat traps, which is not the outcome I expected.
Before you bought extra traps, did the thought cross your mind that you're messing with a big fucking monster and you don't want to screw with this guy anymore?
Yeah.
Like some giant ass rat you don't want to piss off?
Let him live his life.
I mean, like a king rat.
What's he?
Yeah, it was like an old rat that's like, this ain't my first rodeo.
Seasoned rat.
Like the rat from the
fucking guy.
Just like
the rat from the Nutcracker. Like a
Kid stuff. This rat. This
know.
rat trap.
He's like discussing how he's doing it to his friend rat as he's just nonchalantly taking the bait off.
Hold the green wire. Okay,
Hold this, yeah.
Twist it. Thank you. No, I've done this plenty of times.
I was expecting that. I was planning on digging a deep hole in the backyard, putting his dead body in it, and then the next day looking outside and seeing 4 Ninja Turtles outside of it.
Nice.
So I buy a new trap off of Amazon, and it's like I'm like I need a cage because like it needs to get stuck in something so I can just see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And it ends up being like a humane rat trap, so it like keeps them alive. It just locks them in a box basically. So I put that out there, and then the next day there's a rat inside of it, and he's got a little friend sitting next to him, like trying to help him out of the cage.
Sad.
Yeah. And now I'm like, shit. It's the rat is alive. What do I do with a live rat? and before I tell you what was going through my head, I want to know, what would you do with a live rat?
I was just trying to think about that. Actually, I have no fucking clue what I would do. I guess if the idea is that it's humane, there's maybe they had info about where to take this rat once you caught it. Like I don't understand that.
I would probably take it inside and see if it can cook.
Yeah, put a little chef's hat on it.
Well, you got to put it on your head and let
Yeah.
it
Oh,
have it grab
sorry.
your hair
Yeah.
and see if it can cook with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what I'd do.
Leading the story here.
Sorry.
Well, I would probably. Oh man, it's tough. I'd probably have to pick it up. You have a kind of like a park next to your house.
Wait, I got one. Just bash its head in with a hammer.
Dude, so that's like, I'm like, this whole time I've been thinking about like,
Oh, hey, it's okay, little
So
guy. It's okay.
humane.
Come on out. Come on out, little. Boom. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's a humane trap, buddy. It's a humane trap. But my fucking hammer, is it?
so here's like, I was like thinking about that, but like, that's so risky because
Yeah.
like he could run away
Yeah.
before you hit him. I was also thinking about getting like one of those paint buckets, filling it with water, and then putting the whole trap in it and just drowning it.
Oh my god!
I was like what's
gruesome.
awful? Well, I guess it is all. There's no good options. The only good
Whoa.
option I could think of was just feeding it poison.
Yeah.
but that's gonna be terrible too.
And then you're gonna have poison laying around.
Like
What do you
that-
do
I
with the
don't-
extra
I don't know
poison?
I don't know how fast the rat dies from poison. I imagine
either.
there is no like after I've seen this dumbass rat alive in my fucking cage, I don't know what to do, and I can no longer go with the execute option.
Did you think about buying a gun?
I did not. No, that didn't cross my
Just
mind.
go set it free in somebody else's yard.
Yeah, Mike.
See, but I'd still have to shoot it in its cage because I'm not letting it out of the cage. Like to like try and shoot it in my backyard as it's running around. So like I would ruin the cage for sure.
Like shooting fish
Also,
in
I
a
don't want
barrel.
to shoot the cage because I'm afraid of.
Just picture like Kevin, like slowly lowering it into like boiling water or something. You know, like slowly lowering it into lava.
The rat's like, "What are you doing to me?"
Indiana Jones style. Yeah,
Kevin's like, "I expect you to die."
trapped in a cage.
Just like a
Slowly,
laser
like-
slowing coming to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, it was funny because like my mom and I were gonna go see a show that night, and like right when I found him locked in this cage is when my mom shows up to go to the show. So I don't tell her this, and we just go to the show and we come back, and the whole time I'm at the show, I'm like, what am I gonna do with that rat? So I plan it all out at the show. What I do is I come back home, I put the whole cage into like a QFC paper bag, take that paper bag and put it into my car. So that way if like peas or poops, it's not staying in my car.
But wasn't it like shaking a lot when you like?
Oh my God. So
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
as soon as I pick up the cage, this rat is left, right, and the whole thing's shaking. And I like it's kind of scaring me at this point, but I finally get it into the bag, and then as soon as it's in the darkness, it just calms down and like doesn't move or shake anymore. And then I go over to Mike and Julia's house, and I'm just like, that was kind of scary. So I put
Julia's like devastated because she was fine with because he'd been filling us in, and Julia's like fine with like killing the rat trap, whatever, but with the humane one and then separating it from its
I
rat
was just gonna
family.
say, what
Julia
about
was
his
like, but its rat family's gonna miss it on Christmas.
But like, what am I gonna do?
so
Like, I'm
sad.
not gonna buy like 30 humane rat traps and like keep them all together until I catch all of them.
Yeah, no, Kevin, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, clearly you
It was
would.
like $15 for one trap.
Damn.
All I want to do is sleep at night without hearing scratching in my walls.
So hold
a lot to
okay.
ask for.
No, keep going. Sorry.
So I have this rat in a cage in my passenger seat of my car. It is like 11 o'clock at night during like a day of a few days before Christmas. And there's Christmas lights everywhere. It's kind of got this like magical vibe to it. So I ask,
I mean, this sounds magical.
There's a rat next to me and a paper bag.
Just magical.
So lights twinkling in the distance.
You bastard. You gave it as a white elephant, didn't you?
magical.
I've never seen Miracle on 34th Street, but I have to imagine it's just like this.
so I have to drive this animal in my car 15 minutes. Well, I don't have to drive, but the park I decided on was on the other side of the slough. So like no homeward bound situation would happen.
Yeah, totally.
Like you'd have to cross fucking water to get back to this place. So I drive to Blythe Park
Nice.
at 11 p.m. at night.
Nice.
And then like I
In the
ask,
cover of darkness.
which is like a 15-minute drive.
it's 15 minutes.
So it's pretty far for a rat. Wow.
It's a very
far.
yeah. He's not coming back.
That rat's
It's
not
like at
making
least-
his way back
That's at
home.
least like what, like 30 minutes? For a rat?
Like he drove like 4 hours.
At least twice that long.
in rat distance, that's a good 45-minute drive.
Yeah. Okay. So Blythe Park.
And so I'm like picking, like I've got 15 minutes in the car with this creature who's just like out of his mind, like it's calm, like we're all calm, but I know he's terrified, right? So I'm like trying to like pick a playlist in my car to just
Oh my
like keep
God.
things peaceful all the way to the park. And so I asked Mike and Julia to each pick a song. I picked a song.
Wait, were they with you?
God.
No, we were just getting updates on the situation. So we were texting while he was driving away.
So I picked No Cats in America, which is not good. Like I remember that being a good song growing up,
man.
and it's not good. Next time I'm doing Somewhere Out There.
Good choice. That's preferred. Yeah.
Mike picked Bullet with a Butterfly Wings by
Nice.
Smashing Pumpkins. You know that.
Despite all my rage,
That's
I'm still just a rat in a cage.
I'm sure that really calmed him down.
Yeah, that definitely killed the vibe after the No Cats Symphony song.
You're just going for the wrong vibe.
And then
Clearly,
Julia suggested Lullaby by Billy Joel, which honestly, that was just like I like was driving, watching the Christmas lights with this rat in my car. It's
Magical.
somber. There's this beautiful song playing, and I'm like, and that's where I'm just like, this is a really magical moment right now. Like I don't get to share moments with rats very often, but this is a beautiful piece, a beautiful moment in my life.
But really, you're deporting this rat. Is what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to build a wall.
Not even that. He's splitting him up from his family.
Yeah.
before Christmas.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment.
Look, I like to see myself as very benevolent for not killing him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair.
After trying 3 times and failing.
After trying as hard as you could to kill him.
So yeah, so I get to Blythe Park, open up the cage, and again it's a little bit scary, but then he just runs off, and I'm assuming living
too
the
bad that
best life ever.
It's too bad he didn't want to stick around. You know, what if he just got out and then just waited
We're
there?
friends now.
You know what the kicker would have been though? You let him out, and then 3 seconds later, you see a fucking owl swoop down and just. So have you redeployed the trap for the remaining rats?
No, I called my landlord, and he called the exterminators. So now there's 8 traps in my attic.
Oh,
and
I'm guessing
3 traps
they're
outside.
I'm guessing they're not the humane version.
Well, here's the crazy part: they've been out there for a week now, and 0 rats have been caught.
Maybe
Wait,
they all
really?
got
Really?
They got the message.
Yeah, the one you took away was the breadwinner.
Or they're all on our side now.
I don't. So these rats are either smart enough to like I don't know why they would be smart enough to get away from the actual rat traps versus my stupid little humane cage.
Yeah.
But they've done that, and now the exterminator guy, and we'll find out because he's coming back in like 3 weeks or so to check on it again. He thinks it's squirrels that are in my wall. That's what he thinks. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated. But that's
What a squirrely story.
Just wanted to share that magical moment with a rat with you guys.
That is magical. Well, looking forward to updates on the remaining rats.
Yeah, me
Three
too.
weeks from now, right?
Got to catch them all, as they say.
Will you have any problem killing squirrels?
I don't think they would kill squirrels. I think what they do is they just find where they're getting into the house and block it off. When it comes to squirrels like
they
that.
die within your walls,
Yeah.
and then you're haunted by ghost squirrels.
Dude, bring it on. As long as there's not scratching in the walls, I'm okay with whatever happens.
Have
at
you
this point.
considered the thought that it's Mike just outside scratching on your wall?
Like, I'm not even joking. Like this last
Well, your
weekend,
house is itchy.
My
Walls are really itchy.
I could not sleep. I was up until literally 7 a.m. trying to go to sleep. Like went to bed at 10 and like stayed awake the whole night till 7 a.m. because there's just constant scratching in the walls.
Oh, that's terrible.
And it's like, and I'm just like, I'm fucking tired of like, I'm like, I went from I want these things dead to seeing the rat being like, oh, this is great. They're super cute. And I'm going to just be nice to them and set them free to like, I want them to die a painful death because I am so ready to go to bed and not hear this at all anymore.
That's magical.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all. All right, let's end out this episode with a fan favorite game, the sports game. The idea of the game is very simple. I found some names of some athletes that might be a little bit hard to believe, but are real names, and I've mixed in my own fake names. And your only
Great.
job
Love
is to
this game.
decipher which one's which. And last time, Phil Williams almost got a perfect score. But he lost it on Ariel and Sebastian, who is apparently not a real athlete. Go figure.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, Ariel and Sebastian was the name?
Ariel N. Middle initial was N. You were here for this episode, weren't you?
No, I think I think that's the one I missed.
Okay. All right.
one.
Well, you get to participate in
two.
the real game now.
Should we cue that intro?
Yeah. Hit the sports game intro.
Sports.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the same intro we used last
What
time.
was it last time? I don't remember.
Sports.
Sports.
I think it involved you like whispering or something. You're like, did it sport? Did it sports?
No. That was Chase's favorite segment.
Wait, what? Oh,
We don't need to get into it.
Yeah, right. All right, so you're gonna keep track of your own score. All right, and I expect full honesty, the same way that Pizza Hut expects honesty from from the parents of kids getting their books read over the summer. All right,
Do we win a pan pizza?
yes, I will personally buy you a personal pan
Oh,
pizza.
sick.
Sick.
All right,
Personally buy you a personal pan pizza.
all right. The first
personal.
athlete's name, Tiny Taint.
No.
Tiny Taint.
100% no.
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 You're not going to even debate this one a little bit?
Come on. Are you fucking kidding me?
Look, let me say, tiny taint. You do have a chance to change your mind.
Wait. Hold on. What was it? One more time?
Tiny taint.
No.
Yeah, no, still no.
Yeah, you guys, you still got your fastball because that's correct. That's not a real athlete. Yeah.
Knew it.
All right. Next up, we have Rusty Kuntz.
No.
How do you spell cunts?
Kuntz.
I think this is actually
I think this is real.
I think
What sport?
Baseball.
I
I
can't
think
say.
he's a baseball player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a baseball player.
This is definitely real.
So let me remind you. Let me remind you, Mike. You're on the fence there. If you remember, Peter was the one whose confidence actually threw the game for Phil. He completely lied.
Oh,
I love sports.
So you're all going to go.
Oh, you said he was a player for something. I remember hearing that.
Yeah. No, he played for the Anaheim Angels.
He was so confident.
You guys are idiots.
Okay, cool. All right, Rusty Kuntz. We're all going to say he's a real guy.
Yeah, I guess
I think
so.
he is.
All right, he was a real guy.
Perfect score, guys. Perfect score.
1979 White Sox.
Fuck
You
yeah.
said you didn't have the sport. That's baseball.
I wasn't going to tell you up front, just the same way as last time.
Well, because he can make up fake names, but he can't make up fake sport.
yeah, this guy plays Quidditch.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, Tiny Tate in his Quidditch career. So good.
So good.
All right. Next up, we have Steve Schartz. SHARTZ. Steve Schartz.
No.
I'm going to go with yes, he is real.
And I guess that's where the episode ends.
Peter, Mike, any thoughts?
I thought we were going around in a circle.
I mean, there's no need
Just-
for an
there's
order
no-
here.
Hop in.
Just
man.
speak your
All
mind.
The water's great.
Yeah.
Is it great?
It's great.
It's a little chilly.
It's. I mean, it is at
Steve
first, but
Schartz.
you'll get used to it real
I'm gonna
fast.
go. Steve Schartz is a fake name.
yeah, that's a fake name.
Fake name. So everybody's fake except for Chase?
Yeah.
All right.
Chase
Steve
is real.
Steve
Fuck.
Schartz, real guy. Real guy. I mean, this one's a little bit of a stretch. He played for the Scranton Wilkes Bar Red Barons.
My favorite team.
They're a professional minor league baseball team based in
Scranton.
Moosic, Pennsylvania.
Isn't that an oxymoron? Professional minor league.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah,
on
you, you tell him, Kevin. All right.
Seeing sports.
All right. Next up, we have Dick Lickum.
Can you spell that?
Yes, it's Likkem.
No, can you spell the first name?
It's Dick. Dick Lickum.
Richard Lickum.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah.
Yes. The name of the athlete who may or may not be real is Dick Lickum.
I'm gonna go new.
Nope.
Fake? Okay.
No.
I'm going to say fake as well.
Fake, Peter?
It's fake.
Fake. Yeah, Dick Lickum is fake. Okay.
I wish though.
All right. Who's
Lickum.
perfect score? Perfect score so far?
Chase.
Boom.
Just Chase? Okay, Chase, you got to keep riding it for two
Chase
more.
is a-
Chase is perfect. We're
shit.
all missing one besides Chase.
All right, we got two more, Chase.
Sick.
All right. Luscious Pusey.
God damn it.
How do you spell pussy?
I almost spit out my water.
P-O-U-S-E-Y.
Pusey, yeah.
P-U-S-E-Y?
Pusey. Lucious Pusey.
Lucius.
And he plays Quidditch.
Is there a real person named Lucius?
Yeah, he's the seeker.
Lucious Pusey.
He's a Quidditch seeker. Yeah, that's fake.
It's not the goalkeeper.
I'm gonna go fake.
I'm going to say fake.
I'm going to say fake as well.
Everybody's going fake. Lucius Pusey, a real guy.
Oh, damn it.
Lucius Pusey.
He played for Eastern Illinois.
Of course he did.
Eastern Illinois what?
Yeah.
All right, you guys are gonna make me look it up now.
No, it's fine.
All right, he played for something. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up because I'm sure it's gonna be a quick result here.
I don't know. If you're listening at home, do not Google Lucious Pusey.
If you're at work, though, do. Please.
Yeah, linebacker for Eastern Illinois. So he's
What's Eastern Illinois' nicknames? The Red Wolves?
well, yeah, exactly. Red Wolves, correct. All right, last player. All right.
Yep.
Rex Uranus.
Fake.
No.
Rex
I'm going to
Uranus.
say no as well.
I'm going to say fake as well. Nobody has the last name you're
Well, you know what? I'm just going to try and
Uranus.
tie Chase. So I'm going to say real.
G's.
So who we have?
Everyone's fake, but Peter.
Peter going real. Yeah, Rex Uranus is fake.
Nice.
Ooh.
So who got the best score? Is it Chase?
Chase.
Oh, Chase.
Boom. Jason is Chase, then Mike and me, and then Peter.
That's only because Schnantz was Chase's favorite player for his favorite team.
Jets.
You mean Steve Schartz?
Yeah, Steve Schartz is Chase's favorite player.
I mean, yeah, I totally meant shorts.
That explains why you have that
Favorite player.
jersey.
The Schartz jersey. I always wondered about that.
yeah, that's why I have it hanging up on my wall.
That explains
Love
it.
that guy.
Well, space fans, let us know how you did on the quiz. Did did you manage to beat Chase? Are we gonna put you up on our sports game Hall of Fame? If so, send us an email, pwspacecast@gmail.com. You can follow all of our social media antics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Podworms Spacecast? Is that what it is?
Wait,
Is it PW Spacecast or Podworm Spacecast?
the email is PW Spacecast.
And our Instagram?
And the website is PW Spacecast. Everything else is Podworm Spacecast.
We have a website?
PWSpacecast.com.
Hell yeah.
Go there, find all of our tour dates, and see if we're coming to a city near you.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be in Melbourne soon.
I mean, you could check to see if we're coming to a city near you. We probably won't be, but
If you're in Seattle, we will.
We will soon, sometime.
I'm guessing in March or April.
And as always, space fans, until next time, keep squirming.
Love it.